We have an affordable housing crisis in America. Most working families can no longer afford to rent or own a home. Nationally, over one-third of families are renters. Half are cost-burdened. This means they must spend too much on housing and cannot meet other basic needs. What does it mean to be cost-burdened? A family who spends more than 30% of their total income on housing is considered cost-burdened. More than 50%? Severely cost-burdened. In most areas of the country, the median wage family cannot afford to purchase the median-priced home. This problem is particularly extreme in South Florida. One of the 100 largest metro areas in the nation, the South Florida region, is the worst for cost-burdened and severely cost-burdened renters. This is Broward County. 62% of renters are cost-burdened, and 36% are severely cost-burdened. Only 20% can afford to purchase a home. The median price of a home in Broward County is $335,000, while the median income of a family of 4 is nearly $66,000. To be considered for a home loan, they would need a down payment of $85,000. This is the affordability gap. Typical moderate income families spend 45% of their income on housing plus transportation. In the Broward metro area, housing plus transportation cost is 72%, the worst in the nation. This leaves little income for health care, food, insurance, childcare, and other basic needs. Working families in Broward County need an income of almost $62,000 for basic necessities. This is more than twice the federal poverty level for a family of 4. In order to afford safe, decent housing, working families need wages that support the cost of either rental housing or home ownership. While housing costs continue rising, wages have been flat for over 20 years. In Broward County, over half of workers are employed in low-wage service sector occupations. With an average fair market rent over $1,800 per month, many occupations do not pay enough to afford the cost of monthly rent and necessities in Broward County. Affordable housing production is not profitable to private developers. This adds to the shortage of affordable housing stock. That means that local, state, and federal resources are needed to help finance the shortfall cost. In the past 10 years, 3 recurring sources of affordable housing funding, HUD Community Development Block Grant, the Home Grant, and the State SHIP Grant, have been cut in half. To further aggravate the shortage of resources, the state of Florida has raided the local government and state affordable housing trust funds for uses other than affordable housing. This has been occurring for over a decade. All counties in Florida contribute funds toward compliance with the Sadowski Affordable Housing Act. In 2018, Broward County alone contributed over $30 million towards this affordable housing program. This represents more than 10% of all funding collected statewide. Despite being the worst metro area in the nation for housing cost and severe cost burden, and the worst housing plus transportation cost burden, Broward County only received $2.5 million back from the state. This means over $27 million was donated to other counties and to non-housing activities. For the past 10 years, Broward County has been a donor county by contributing more than was returned for affordable housing. Broward County has a deficiency of over 100,000 affordable units. Over 60% of these units are needed by low-income wage earners. The cost of housing also negatively impacts the local economy. This seriously impacts employee recruitment and retention. The solutions for this problem are increased wages and additional affordable housing units. As the private sector adjusts to the cost of living in South Florida, it is critical that existing funding programs for affordable housing, such as the Sadowski Trust Funds, are collected and used in the way that the law intended. The Sadowski Trust Funds were created as dedicated sources for affordable housing. Funds are generated locally with the intention that they will be dispersed and shared for affordable housing. Critical need counties, such as Broward, must receive a fair share of this housing. How can we solve this? Federal, state, and local governments, in partnership with the private sector, can bring about change if we all work together.